Urbana. Welcome to this edition of It's All About You. I'm Bridget Broihahn, and I'm joined by our newest member of the Urbana City Council Ward 3 representative, Shirese Hursey. Hi, Shirese.
Hi.
Thank you for taking time with us today. First of all, I'm really happy you won because, you know, you're an Urbana girl and everything. But I also, I think people in Urbana want to know, why would you decide to apply for this position?
Well, it really started for me as thinking that I wanted to do more for my community.
Yeah.
Number one, the whole grocery store thing that I want, that kind of, a lot of people approached me about maybe if Aaron, if Aaron Ammons won, that maybe I would be thinking about taking his place. So that was part of an inspiration. Also, my father was an alderman.
Yeah.
And coming up in a political family like that, my mother was on the Human Relations Commission, and they both actually ran for mayor at one time or another. So having that kind of background made me feel that it was my turn.
You grew up in Urbana and then moved away for most of your professional career. Does your time away give you a unique perspective on Urbana? I mean, just going away and coming home again, they always say you can't come home again, but you did. So
Several times.
Yeah, did it give you a unique perspective, you think?
Yes, it did, actually. It's strange what you learn when you're in a different town and how you compare it to where you came from.
Yeah.
And so it was making those comparisons. So, I lived in Los Angeles, and I lived in the Los Angeles area. I lived in Long Beach, I lived in Inglewood, and I lived in Culver City. And experiencing different surroundings in each place.
Yeah.
So you start, at least one, let me put it this way, one begins to observe more of how cities are set up, or how a particular neighborhood might decline at a particular point, and what are you noticing about that decline? What is it that's bringing things in or things not going in at all that causes the planning causes a neighborhood to make a turn either in a positive or a negative way. So having been away. And I forgot, I also lived in Louisville, Kentucky. So.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
That's a really different area compared to here in LA.
Exactly. So just starting to observe and see different things that are happening in my ward when I would come home, or things that weren't happening, things that, the population has changed. It's more diverse than it used to be.
Yeah.
And it has more needs than it used to.
Well, I know you came to the council just on, I don't know why, I don't think it was a whim, but you came and approached them because you feel that Ward 3 is a food desert. And that's kind of how you started down this road of just coming to the Urbana City Council. Would you like to expand on that? That's one of your goals, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I would like to see a grocery store in the 3rd Ward. It's long overdue. There hasn't been a grocery store on the north end of Urbana since I was in junior high.
Wow.
And that's a very long time.
Yeah.
Dating myself. As the population has grown and has become more diverse, there still is not a grocery store. And I'm sure there have probably been other aldermen that have sat in that same chair that have brought up the need for that. And yet it has not been made a priority. And so I wanted to make sure, and that's why I approached the council, this is a priority, because what we have on the north end is a food desert. And that's how I defined it, because there is not a quality full-service grocery store anywhere between Champaign and South Urbana. And you can't have students and families living off of convenience store food.
Oh, no.
There are 2 convenience stores there, so why not a grocery store?
Another goal that you did express during the application process was the need for better communications with your constituents.
Yes.
Now, how do you plan to increase the communications with Ward 3, between you and Ward 3, and the city in Ward 3?
Well, one of the things and it sounds really old school, but after I get a little bit settled, I just plan to knock on doors.
Go figure.
I'm gonna, because not everyone has a computer. Therefore, not everyone has Facebook. Not everyone has a smartphone, or if they have it, they don't necessarily know how to use it. So it's like when I was teaching, you have to start with where people are.
Yeah, take people where they're at.
I can't make you have something that you don't have. So I need to knock on doors. I need to make phone calls, probably use a voter registration list. And that's what my father did. That's what my parents did.
Plus, you can meet people. It's kind of fun.
And it would be nice to know people in my ward. And not just meet new people, but, kind of rekindle probably friendships with folks that I had when I was a child. It's like, oh, hey, how you doing? Because
I know you had said you went over to Tracy Parsons' family's house and saw his dad.
I called him.
Oh, okay.
I called him.
So that's neat.
Right.
You actually saw somebody and
I was calling. And it's the same thing with other school friends that
That's neat.
That I called because I saw their names on that list. I was like, I'm calling them. Just to even tell them about the application process and everything else. Because anybody that I talked to, I was like, you might want to put in an application.
Which is really cool to me, Shirese, because here you were being put up for it, but yet you were encouraging people to apply. So to me, that said volumes.
Yeah.
It said volumes about what you just wanted, what was best for the city of Urbana. Because both you and I come from here, and we love Urbana. We really want Urbana to grow and do well and grow in the right way and stuff like that. So about this, economic development has taken a step forward in Urbana. It's one of Mayor Marlin's big things. And so over the past years, including a couple of developments, I know last night you guys talked about 200 Vine. What developments would you like to see in the future in Ward 3 or just in Urbana in general?
Of course, I want the grocery store to happen. I would like to see there be more small businesses or even branch businesses.
Sure.
On the north end. There needs to be restaurants. There needs to be nice places for people to go. We are in a unique locale in that we're right off of the highway.
Yeah.
Ward 3 is not just right off the highway. Ward 3 actually crosses the highway, something that I found out looking at my Ward 3 map.
Oh, wow.
Even going further north.
Does it really?
Some of that is Ward 3. The city of Urbana and Mayor Marlin is working diligently to grow not just businesses but the population. So and she likes the idea, and as I do too, of there being a more diverse population. Ward 3 historically has been where the African American population has been housed for decades.
I know when we were kids.
Yeah.
That's the way it kind of was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And
so you want to do something in that vein too, like historical.
I want there to be some historical recognition of Ward 3's contribution to the city of Urbana.
That's great. Like signage, or what are you thinking?
Signage, something in the realm of the story. Even where I live is Ellis Subdivision. That was a subdivision built on the north end, specifically, I think, for black folks to have homes, nice homes, and because that was not something that was a priority for the city of Urbana. Black people generally rented. There were homes there, but they generally they rented. Because white people owned the homes, and they paid exorbitant rents, and eventually they were given the opportunity to own their own homes.
So you could do like proclamation and storytelling, and then it would just be nice for people to feel good about the contributions they've made as we're moving forward.
And there have been a lot of city leaders that have come out of the Ward 3. Reverend Dr. Evelyn Burnett Underwood. She was the first black woman elected to the Urbana school district.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, my father was the first black alderman from the city of Urbana.
Which is cool, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I know. That's really neat.
But it started something, and what people don't know is he ran against a white man. So it wasn't like there hasn't been white population in the third ward, and there still is.
Sure.
And so
it's becoming very diverse.
It's becoming extremely diverse. So there's always been a mixture of people. I think it speaks volumes as to how people can live together and live relatively in a harmonious state. There doesn't always have to be
symbiotic.
It doesn't always have to be adversarial. You have to make things be what you want to. Like Gandhi said, be the change you want to see. So that's what you have to do.
Yeah. It's really fun, too. Thank you for being here today. Our guest, Shirese Hursey, newest member of the Urbana City Council. Welcome. We look forward to working with you. And thanks, Urbana, for watching. See you next time.